Good morning, my friends. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. Sunday morning marks the 50% point of every weekend for most weekends except this weekend, unless you're in the UK, because Monday, tomorrow, is a bank holiday in the UK. So I hope if you are in the UK, whatever bank holiday plans you have are suitably amazing. First of all, though, I have to let you guys know on stream and let you guys know on YouTube in the future, we have a Discord server now. Good morning, Phil C 2020. Good morning. Welcome from the YouTube crowd. We have a Discord server now, so if you are the kind of person who is a member of Discord servers, you can get the link to our server by typing !Discord in the chat. I will also put a link to it in the video description on YouTube in the future. And I'm really interested to hear your guys' feedback on things we can do to make the videos better, things we can do to make the streams better. You know, I've got a big to-do list of stuff I want to do over time, like improving my opening screen, getting more emotes, getting better animations for the follows, for the subscribes, and so on, you know, soundboards, other commands that we can add. Obviously, you know, they are in a backlogged list. They're in a sort of prioritized order, you know, I'm working through them gradually, you know, when I get sort of free time here and there. But I want to hear your suggestions on things that are important to you, and I also want to get gaming suggestions as well, right? Like, what games do you guys want to see? Because I want good game recommendations, and I want to play games that you guys are interested in watching, right? So Discord's probably going to be the central place where we'll have those conversations, because at the moment I'm sort of split between Twitter and Reddit, and obviously also the YouTube comment section and the Twitch chat. So the Discord just provides a place where we will sort of do that going forward. Okay, on with today's stream. Today we are looking at these pods, and we know, right, we know that the pod numbers, where we got to last time is the pod numbers are actually the row and position from them. So where we got to last time was I surmised, look, let's try and go to the bottom floor and see if we can see anything there. Yeah, and we'll sort of go from there. So let's pick a number, and I think 15, right? I think 15 was pretty much the lowest that we've been able to see so far. So let's try and get pod number 15. Which, we don't quite have that on here, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, so let's go back to Hunrath and cut all of that up and get ourselves pod number 15. I didn't cut all of the things, unfortunately. Did not cut all of the things. Good to see you live on the chat, finally, Phil. What are you up to with your bank holiday? Oh, we actually got to the top anyway. What are you up to with your bank holiday Monday? That is, of course, making the wild assumption that you're based in the UK, of course. Wait, what? Was that door here before? I don't remember seeing a door there. Maybe there's a way to open that door. Perhaps. Anyway, this one is basically free to use because this takes us to the top of the bridge. And we'll just load ourselves back into Hunrath. So tomorrow, my bank holiday Monday, tomorrow, I am going to be DMing a Dungeons and Dragons one-shot, which I am super looking forward to. It's with a few kids of some of my friends. My own child is far too young for Dungeons and Dragons. Far, far too young. Let's go this way and through and then round to the thing. But yes, so it's a group of 3 of them, sort of age like, I don't know, kind of like 8 to 11. So very much a kind of a relaxed, chill, kid-friendly one-shot campaign. I'm super duper looking forward to it though. This will actually be the first time I've ever dungeon mastered. I'm hoping the fact that they are children who have never played Dungeons and Dragons before will actually be of benefit to me there. I'm just kind of having a look. Yeah, there's an awry just chilling out by that telephone thing. Huh. Yes, I'm hoping that the fact that they're children who've never played D&D before is actually going to work to my benefit, you know? 15 was the number we wanted. Great. Because you always do kind of get that nervousness, right? When it's like, oh no, you know, like I'm DMing for a group of people and they all know Dungeons and Dragons really well, and you know, yeah. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons is one of those games that depends very, very strongly on the group of people you play it with. And when you've got people who've played it before, you can have conversations, you know, you can do that session 0 conversation about like, what kind of campaign do you want? Do you want it to be like dark and gritty Christian Bale Batman, or do you want it to be like, you know, fun and campy George Clooney Batman? You know, or even the just absurdly silly Adam West kind of Batman. But yeah, with people who have never played before, they kind of don't know what to expect, so you're sort of kind of second guessing a little bit what they might enjoy. I don't know, we'll see. What I have not done is fallen into the trap of trying to write something myself. I have gone online and found a one-shot that takes about 4 hours that I am fairly confident is going to go down reasonably well, because it's a very popular 4-hour one-shot which is designed for new players. So, you know, we'll just see how it goes. By the time this video is up on YouTube, we'll have already done it, right? Because we're doing it tomorrow. So ask me in the comments section how it went, and, you know, I'll either say it went really well, or I'll be really cagey about, you know, things I might try differently next time. So, let's draw this up here. It's that and that little T here and a little T here, and we're going to cut that. That should be it, yeah? Yeah. Okay, are we going to get the dramatic music going? Dun 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 dun. I was recording a little bit more Quern last night, which, if you guys haven't checked out any Quern yet on the channel, you definitely should. So that is an Arai Polyarch. Whoa, those guys look a bit scary, don't they? He kind of looks like he's turning his head towards you as you go left and right. So is this the bottom then? Yeah, this kind of looks like the bottom. But shoot, there's nothing here. Ah, man. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. I was really hoping from here we'd be able to spot something. Okay, so we've got some pods missing. Right, which we can see. Are we trying to hunt down a missing pod? Okay, full disclosure, what I was actually hoping for was... Yeah, it very much looks like we're at the bottom, doesn't it? Right, what I was hoping for was that you work out that the pod numbers are actually their rows and positions, and then you find a pod which is at the bottom, and then when you ride the elevator to the bottom, there's like a door which takes you somewhere. That's sort of what I was secretly hoping for. Or maybe not so secretly hoping for, because I think I might have literally said it last week. So, where are we at then? I gotta have a real think about this, because this might be a very, very long stream if I'm starting it stuck. We've not yet had a stream which was literally me wandering around for an hour and a half, not knowing what to do. I mean, it's always a danger that it was going to happen one day. It's always the danger with streaming puzzle games, right? It's like, you could end up in a situation where, yeah, congratulations, you're just going to spend the next hour and a half not knowing what to do. Can't even ride our cable car back because it's gone. It's kind of interesting actually. Was the cable car a pod? We're riding that and then you get podded. We need a clue. We need a clue about, like, where we're going, what number we need. What? Wait. No. Hold up. How did that open? Genuinely, no idea what where you're at here now. Did I open that somehow? Okay, like, comment below how that door opened, because genuinely I've got no idea what we did to open that. Unless the game is literally just taking pity on us for not knowing what to do. Alright. Oh, hey, look! Yeah. It's a Mofang. A Mofang wearing a projection suit. Was he undercover? We're going to approach the device. We're going to approach the device in a minute, yeah? great. We've got a door open now. I mean, the game auto-saves, right? Does the game auto-save or does it save on exit? I want to touch the device. I want to touch the device and see what happens. Right, okay. I'm going to quit out the game. We're going to reload it, yeah, to just convince ourselves that it did indeed save. Because if I don't understand what we did to open that door, I have zero confidence that we can open that door again later. So... okay, here we go. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're going to touch the device. Now, the reason I'm interested in touching the device is because having a load of signs around Hunrath being like, if you see a device that looks like this, don't bloody touch it. Maybe that's actually just the secret to... oh, approached an active Mofang WMD. Okay. Oh, hi. Hey, ground control. How are you doing, sir? Good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. Oh, sweet. Personal thanks. Thanks to all of our backers. Oh, brilliant. We actually get credits because the game ended. Okay. Oh, shoot. Wait, where's continue gone? This better not drop us back somewhere. Okay, phew. Why does this game not allow you to just, like, have your own save points? Don't understand that. Don't understand that. Like, you know, this isn't a permadeath kind of game. In fact, this rotating dodecahedron is literally the first time we've ever been able to game over. So there we go. Yes, ground control, you joined us just in time to see the end credits for the first time. They're taking a very kind of Outer Wilds view on the end credits, right? That every ending can be a canonical ending if you think about it hard enough. Okay, we've got a lever, we have a dead villain. This is not, incidentally, this game has also suddenly become not cozy puzzle vibes anymore. This is now like, oh my god, there are like aliens shooting at each other and stuff. Oh, I see. We are going to destroy the Mofang WMD. Oh. This way. The control on this one is a little bit strange because it's more like a joystick rather than a... because the thing sort of has momentum to it. Oh wait, no, we've gone past it. So, a little to the left. Yeah, okay, and point it downwards a touch. We're trying to... yeah, there we go. We've managed to destroy the WMD. No idea what's going on down there. That's what a Mofang actually looks like. Oh, shoot. So the door's closed behind us. Something's definitely going on with those pods over there. Oh no, we destroyed the Mofang teleporter. I think that probably has to happen though, in fairness. I don't think it's going to let us go to Mofang just yet. Not until we've solved more of this mystery. Okay, right. Let's go and find our bridge command, which is it's back here somewhere. There it is. That's what we need for the bridges. Right, little zigzag there, a little zigzag there, and a little T over here. Go. So, what do we reckon? People are going to be happy to see us, or people are going to be angry to see us? I'm kind of sensing that... Well, I'm kind of sensing that literally this game has no enemies, no combat, no way to defend yourself, right? So I've got to trust the game designer that they're not going to suddenly throw us. They're not going to do a looker and suddenly give us a gun and start trying to shoot people. Question is though, okay, we can get the... We can get the water work into this tree, right here in fact. So that's great. Mare is now connected to the heart. But here's the thing, how are we going to get out to... Okay, so that will get us back to Kaptar, which is fine. We want to get to Hunrath. I mean, ultimately, we need to get to... No, this is Hunrath. We need to get to Mofang. Hey, wait. 1, 2... There's only 3 doors here. No, yes, of course there's 3 doors. We can't get to Mofang. So CW might be able to help us out with some suggestions, but I think CW is just going to be like, yeah, you got to connect up all the trees. So how do we get to Mofang then? I thought when we got rid of the WMD... I mean, maybe that is it. Or the door closed behind us, but we can still get back to the Verlaine home world via a different route. So that's also totally possible. Let's just double check if CW has anything for us. Hey, wait. Was that always there? Those train cars? I don't remember those train cars always being there. I'm probably sort of overthinking that. Right, CW. So ground control, have you seen, played Obduction at all? Or any of the other Cyan Worlds games? Bing bong. So one thing that I would say about Cyan Worlds, so Cyan Worlds games are brilliant environmental puzzlers, right? You're looking around and you're trying to sort of piece together clues from the environment that you're in. Oh, here he comes. I hear him walking along. No, I don't think he's coming. I think he's ignoring us. No, he's hammering away. Oh, Myst. Yeah. So I only played Myst fairly recently, but what seems to set these games apart from other environmental puzzlers like Quern and you know, Escape First Alchemist and things like that is this has absolutely no items, right? And Myst was the same. So everything is like codes and knowledge and other bits and pieces, but you never have any items that are like take this and plug it in over here, or here's a key, now go and find the lock that it fits in. And that does make the gameplay a lot smoother in my opinion, because on those item heavy puzzlers, they kind of inevitably end up with, okay, I'm going to have to try this item in combination with every lock that I have in the environment to work out which one goes with what. Especially if it requires a little bit of, what's the word? Abstract logic about what constitutes a lock and what constitutes a key. Okay, so we are back in Marais. And from here, we can go back over this bridge, which is great. Yeah, the pods are still opening. Pods. So can we get back to the pods from this direction now? No, this door has locked behind us as well. Right, so both of these pods, so both of those doors have locked behind us. Maybe I wasn't supposed to bust this up, but shoot. No, surely not, because these are far too close to each other. If you busted that up, it's gonna bust this up regardless, and you have to bust this up to make progress. So this can't be the sphere. This can't be the sphere that's teleporting us to... I've forgotten the names. I forget the names. The red planet. The red planet. The one with the red aliens on it. So that kind of does put us into a little bit of a quandary in terms of, okay, where are you supposed to go next? So we've got this bridge now open. Here's the path, here's the tree. Haha, no, it's not. The one I posted in the Discord is the Labyrinth of Time, which, oh man, yeah, kind of crazy. So I was thinking about this game and I was thinking about Quern, and I suddenly had like a flashback from my childhood about another similar adventure game which was kind of set in this like fever dream style clown car sort of situation, and I went onto Reddit, tried to track it down because I couldn't remember the name of it. Turns out it's called the Labyrinth of Time, and I checked it out. It is available for sale. It's like £2.50 or something. So I've just bought it, and my plan is that we're going to play it at some point. Maybe not on stream, maybe just on YouTube. But it's so 90s. So it has a written instruction manual, which is great. You know, very 90s, love it. Documentation, underrated in the modern day. And literally one of the helpful hints in the Labyrinth of Time's instruction manual is, hey, if you think you're stuck, maybe you're soft-locked, consider reloading your save. And I was just like, what? That is what constituted good game design in the 90s. I love it. I think it's going to be a trip. I think we're gonna have fun diving down the rabbit hole on that one. No, I mean, Cyan game, like even as far back as Myst, right? You cannot get soft locked. You know, you can't get soft locked in Myst. You're not going to be able to get soft locked here. I believe you can get soft locked in Firmament, but those are bugs and they probably need fixing, to be honest. So yeah, the fact that the Mofang device is busted up here is more me expressing disappointment rather than concern that we have actually soft locked ourselves. I'm just kind of trying to think, like, okay, so what actually then is our next step? Because on the Marais map, we took the cable car round here, and that's great, and we've ended up here, and here's where the pods are. So let's thin that down. Right, that's where the pods are. And then that's the room with the injured Verlaine. There's our bridge to teleport us back to Hunrath. And here's the tree, which we've opened up. Our objective is to connect all the 3 trees across all the 4 worlds. And we've done Hunrath, we've done Marais, we've done Captar. Now we need to go to Mofang. The thing is, I've never been to Mofang. There's no way there. Oh, is that random sphere in Captar? Could that go to Mofang? The one that clearly had the dead Mofang in it. It's the one, it's near the tree. It's near the Captar tree. It had like a sphere within a sphere. It looked a bit weird. Let's have a closer look at that, because there's also a set of instructions written there, which I never took a screenshot of, and so it's sort of been on my to-do list to go back there and add that to our notebook anyway. But yeah, no, I have utmost confidence in Rand and the Cyan Worlds team that it is impossible to get soft locked here. And I am gonna clip that statement right now and turn it into a short. Senpai, please notice me. Right. I've been I've been commenting on every single video that the Cyan Worlds TikTok account has been putting out in the last month, trying to get some kind of shout out from them. like a desperate ex trying to get attention. Anyway, so when we go through here, now don't worry about the swarm of angry looking wasps, they're actually totally harmless. Through this way and round this corner. Yeah, now here is a tiny shell of the Mofang homeworld. This is a buster, and that's a dead Mofang. This doesn't work at all. Yeah, this is not working. But if you stand on the scales, it looks like you should be able to place something here. But surely not. This would be the first ever puzzle that I have ever come across in one of these games, which requires you to bring an item to somewhere else. The other thing that I'm wondering about is there anything else that we can use the Verlaine gun to try and break up? I need to kind of find... The scales clearly must do something. I'm too heavy to make it do anything. Which again would sort of make you think, you need to like bring something here, but there's no way to pick anything up, right? There is no inventory. So what are we doing here? The game, incidentally, is also not above throwing just a red herring at you as well. The box of infinite complexity was genuinely a box that did nothing, so that's something to bear in mind. 160 kilos is about 350 pounds. Yeah, so I assume that this scale is in pounds, so that's 160 pounds. So our character weighs approximately 75 kilos. Now this is the set of instructions that I wanted to grab a screenshot of whilst we're here. Just so that we've got it for our records, really. Because this sort of details the fact that it looks like it... Oh! Moving out of the game and then coming back in seems to have reset the music. This is what seems to imply that actually it was the humans and the Villain that did a preemptive strike against the Mofang. The locations and times in this document are based on the information leaked by Rako and Shavar. Those are Mofang names, I believe. Well, we could actually have a look, couldn't we? If we have a look, Rakuk and Shavar. This is all important backstory, right? They're all in alphabetical order here. Rakuk, here he is a Mofang. And Shavar. Hang on, wait. How are you spelling that? Oh no, it's with a C. He is also Mofang, yeah. So they're Mofang spies. Oh, spicy. Our lives depend on the accuracy of the information received from them. So the Remainers are CW, Trara and Arai. So on a particular day we're going to begin chambering. Farley's going to verify the manifest. Beginning on that day, Remainers in place with hands-on swap trigger. Raku and Shavar arrive. They get chambered by someone else. Beginning of that day, Trara on guard of chamber. Trigger time. Right, trigger locations. As prescribed, all locations should have small error allowance. Marai has largest margin of error potential. Be alert. Trigger task. Trigger re-swap immediately after swap. Any delay increases the risk of detonation in a home sphere and the risk will remain of being disabled in Mofang. Will ensure that all Remainers, or in the case of Kaptar, the remaining Polyarch, receive and understand this document. Oh, well actually, maybe they didn't do a preemptive strike then. Maybe I read that wrong the first time. Trigger locations, as prescribed. All locations should have small error allowance. Trigger re-swap immediately after swap. So actually, no, it was the Mofang who were attacking with the Mofang WMDs. What the Remainers were doing, this is clever, right? So the spheres, they physically swap locations between the worlds. What they had was like CW, Trara and Arai standing on the sphere with their hand on the button, and then as soon as the Mofang transported their WMDs, the person with their hand on the button got teleported. So as soon as they get teleported, they hit the button to teleport back. Hopefully with the WMD then detonating on the Mofang side, not on their side. So maybe I was wrong then. Maybe the humans and the Villain are not the bad guys. The Mofang still seem to be suggesting that they are being farmed for food though, which is a bit dark, to be fair. But that could also just be nonsense Mofang propaganda for all I know. I haven't actually spoken to anyone except CW, but then CW just keeps like moaning at me to do things. Go and connect this. Go and do that. Like, I mean, he's very helpful, but he's also very demanding. Reet. I'm just thinking now. Just thinking, like, where is the next thing that I actually have open to me? Because I was slightly expecting, after we disabled that WMD, that we would be heading to Mofang, but clearly that's not the case. Maybe we need to find a way to get rid of the Mofang rocks on the other side of the mine shaft. That's another thing to have a look at. Now what is the easiest way to get there, though? Because we need to kind of get to... Well, first of all, I need to check which way round the swing bridge currently is, to see if we can even get to that point at all. There's a lot of backtracking in this game. In fact, if you go to the Steam page, this is the biggest criticism of the game. Not the puzzle design or anything like that. Phil C 2020 has gifted a sub to Ground Control. Thank you very much, Phil C. Enjoy the sub. We've got some brilliant sub emojis. Hype, hype, hype. Some lovely cozy emojis as well. And this is all credit to our amazing artist, Souffle, who does amazing art. And if you are ever in need of some art, you should definitely hit her up on her Ko-Fi. Or coffee, depending on how you pronounce that website. I always thought it was Ko-Fi, like Wi-Fi, but apparently, like, the logo's a coffee cup, so you're supposed to be pronouncing it coffee, and you always were supposed to be pronouncing it that way. But thank you very much for the gifted sub, Phil C. Okay, right, the swing bridge is in the correct place, so let's see about going to the mine shaft. Our little, our tiny train... Have a great day at work, Phil, have a great day at work. I will catch you in the YouTube comments section when this video goes up on Wednesday. Now, let me think. The tiny train has got no chance of hitting those rocks. Right? We only have two. Oh, shoot. I can't actually go to the... because the swing bridge is the wrong way around. As far as I can see, we've only got two working Verlaine devices. Why wouldn't the character have tried to pick up the Verlaine gun? Right next to the injured Verlaine. Oh yeah, here's the posters. Warning, do not approach anything that even remotely resembles this diagram. Our character knows that there is a big old problem getting the rocks smashed up. Can we teleport the train? Can we teleport the train to somewhere where it can have line of sight to the rocks? We do not have any. So the rocks I'm talking about are those rocks right there that are blocking that mine shaft. Those need opening up. And a Verlaine cannon would do it. But there's no train tracks anywhere. I mean, aside from the train tracks in the train yard, but the tiny train can't go on these tracks. There's not going to be a chance. There's no chance that any of this line of sight can work from here. Oh man. We might be thinking about trying to find then another different path that we've not been round. The little arrow are on the bleeder there. This puzzle we also haven't used yet. This is kind of notable because whatever this was, we never used it. Yeah. Well, unless you want to argue that we kind of used it because that sort of looks a bit similar to that, but that's a little bit of a stretch, to be honest. That's a little bit of a stretch. You were quite a bit younger when Myst came out. Pretty sure you leaned heavily on walkthroughs. You may have played Riven for about 10 minutes and never looked back. Yeah, that is a pretty common thing, right? So I played Myst pretty soon to when it first came out, right? Which was like, I don't know, I probably didn't play it in 93 when it literally first came out, but like, let's say like 94, 95, something like that. I'd have been about 10 years old at most. Probably not 10, because I think by the time I was 10 years old I actually had a PlayStation rather than playing on PC. But yeah, I was maybe like 8, fired it up, really liked the art style and the music and stuff, could not solve literally the first puzzle. I think I got as far as, you know, the letter on the rock and seeing the first video explaining something about the whatever, and then no, did not get any further than that, which I think is probably a very, very common experience for people playing Myst. So I never actually came back to Myst until the remake, and I played it earlier on this year. That whole playthrough is up on the YouTube channel. And I had a blast, and I nearly beat it without guides. There was one puzzle which I had to look up, which I couldn't figure out. But you know, really holds up really well. After 30 years, I've not played very many puzzle games which I would say are as good. You like different qualities in puzzle games. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, like, you know, Myst and Obduction and Outer Wilds, these are, I would call these like immersive puzzle games or environmental puzzle games. They're very much around like looking for visual cues in the environment about what it is you're trying to solve. Whereas games like Taiji or the Talos Principle, or, you know, A Monster's Expedition or things like that, those are more kind of traditional gated puzzle games where you are, you know, you have sort of the puzzles are more kind of explicitly split into levels, let's say. Obviously, we've been spending a lot of time on Opus Magnum on the Monday streams, and yeah, I mean, that's like a much more kind of traditional puzzle game. Well, not a traditional puzzle game, because the Zachtronics games are not really traditional puzzles at all. They're more like programming challenges. But traditional puzzle games where the game is sort of split into levels is, yeah, a very different experience to something like this, where you spend a lot of the game just wandering around trying to realise what it is you're trying to do. And that's sort of where we are here, to be honest, because what we have got is, we know we've got some rocks around about here that need busting down. You play Noita and it's got some environmental puzzles, but generally speaking, if it's not a legitimate quest, then it's all contained on the screen before you. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, like, games like this do tend to involve a lot of backtracking because you are trying to piece together, like, a set of holistic concepts into something that sort of looks a bit like solving a puzzle. Whereas, yeah, now I've never actually heard of Noita. I presume it's good though, if you're saying that you play it a lot. Okay. These rocks will be busted down with a Mofang device. No, with a Verlaine device. We've got a Verlaine device on the tiny train. We know that the submarine and the bar don't do anything. Those were added later after the game became popular. The battery's been connected up. CW's workshop. There's the town. The bleeder is going to come out this way, but how do we get there? I feel like getting to the bleeder would be really beneficial for us. But how do we get to the bleeder? Is there a sphere that would take us to the bleeder? Question mark on that one. This we think is a map of the spheres, but it's really faded. It's really, really faded. It looks like a bit more of an accurate map though, doesn't it? Than this one, which is clearly like a sketch. What are these black circles though? Don't really know. Oh. That's the in-game note-taking mechanism. I don't tend to use that very much. We tend to sketch things on our own little notebook. So we also have a door in Captar that we couldn't get inside. That's the only major area in Captar that we couldn't get to, right? Because there's a hidden door here and there's a locked door here. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that there's a sphere there which is between the boards on this map. The tree is always in the center, and here's the thing, right? Do the spheres always take you to somewhere which is fairly similar? They do, don't they? They do, don't they? Because that goes to the top of the junkyard. That's the Verlaine Bridge. That's the archive on Hunrath, which is actually slightly further in, maybe. But it does drop you Hunrath Mines. That's in about the right spot. So it does drop you in about the same spot. So if we're expecting a sphere... Noita is a true indie gem. You will post a link on Discord, maybe a GIF. Yeah, please do. That'd be great. Tomorrow is going to be Opus Magnum. Yeah, so Sunday mornings is chilled out environmental puzzlers. Monday evenings is more kind of traditional puzzle games. And yeah, well, ultimately Monday evenings is whatever people on Monday evenings kind of suggest that we play. Like the Zachtronics was a suggestion after we beat Taiji. Once we beat Opus Magnum, we'll probably play something a little bit different, but not sure what, in honesty. But yeah, so that'll be tomorrow. Okay, if we are expecting a sphere... This hidden door, there's a locked door here, there's a locked door this side, so we have to be using a sphere to teleport in and out of it. If there's a missing sphere around about here, that would be on this map around about here, maybe. Right? Is there a missing sphere there? You got into Opus only recently and nobody streams it. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, I did notice that on the categories, on the Twitch categories, Opus has something like 2,000 people following it, something like that, which is very small. Like Obduction, this has got like 5,000 people following it, and like, would I say that this is a bigger game than Opus Magnum? I'm not sure, in honesty. But to be fair, it's weird. It's weird how the popularity works though. So the only foray I've done so far into trying to do something that's actually popular is on the YouTube. I've got Jedi Survivor, right? Which is a game I was going to play anyway because I'm a big sucker for Star Wars. I literally have a Lego BD-1 in the background. So I was going to play Lego Survivor anyway because Fallen Order was great. And I just recorded all of my sessions. And I put those up onto YouTube, and I thought, well, this is actually the first time I've ever tried to record something that's actually popular, and it's current, and it's a AAA game, which literally only came out this month, and genuinely, barely anyone has watched any of those videos. Like, they're some of my lowest view counts, which is interesting, because you'd have thought more popular means more viewers, but actually it kind of seems like the YouTube skew is such that if it's a popular AAA thing, the level of competition amongst channels to be the person that everyone's watching is a lot higher. Whereas if you are doing a blind playthrough of Myst or Obduction or something like that, even though the overall audience is smaller, I get way more views on Myst and Obduction and The Witness as well, which in a way is a bit of a shame because that playlist doesn't have an end to it. So it's a little bit of a shame because that playthrough doesn't end, unfortunately. It doesn't end with the end of the game. We should go back to The Witness and do the 100% and get all the achievements on it, you know. But yeah. So, do we have a missing sphere here? Google says Obduction has about 12 hours of content. Oh, I've already done way more than that on this stream. Opus, I've already sunk 70 hours into. Notia, you've got 1,000 hours in. 1,400 hours. That's crazy. Okay, so that's about the same amount of time that I've put into Magic the Gathering over the years, probably. So if we're getting a missing sphere, like, is there a missing sphere around here? And that seems less likely because that doesn't have a path going to it. So is there a sphere somewhere that we can reach? It seems a little bit strange, like I wouldn't have thought we'd just like miss a sphere, but or maybe somehow we need to open those doors because that's how we're getting into Mofang. It's a tricky one, right? You started playing Magic the Gathering in high school. Revised. Wow. 7 different collections over the years, tens of thousands of cards. Yeah, so I played first of all Mercadian Masks back in the 90s. Never played it competitively, only played it with friends and stuff. And then I got really into it around about Battle for Zendikar. Played it hugely. Won a game day for... You can't quite see it. I've actually got it framed. My playmat is this frame just above the lava lamp here. We've not quite got enough power yet. We need to hook up all the trees. All the trees need power. Mofang, the bulb is literally broken, so I don't think that's going to help us out at all. Hunrath, look, it's gradually charging up. The others all fully charged. Very nice. That's not a button. Yeah, and I played it sort of in paper until I moved away from my local game store, but then I played Arena for a long time. I still have my Arena account, although I never log on to it anymore. I got a huge number of cards on Arena. I should probably get round to like using escrow to sell that account or something. Which is not something that I would ever admit to doing, because that's of course a violation of the terms of service of the game. But yeah, but I've got like loads and loads of stuff on that account, like loads of cosmetic, loads of cards and stuff. It's probably quite a valuable account, because I've been playing it since the beta. Right, we cannot bring the stairs back up. But yeah, I just kind of got turned off Magic after a while because it was not quite Eldraine, because I played it for like another year after Eldraine came out, but it was... what were the sets that were after Eldraine? Strixhaven and so on, and there was a D&D set, which introduced dice rolling as a mechanic, and the bit where I really... Do you know what, actually? Let me try and remind myself which sets it was. List of MTG sets. I have a feeling it was like the more recent post-block set. Strictions, Dungeons & Dragons, and there was Innistrad, Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow, Kamigawa. Yeah, okay. So Kamigawa Neon Dynasty was the first one that I just like totally didn't play, and then I jumped back in it for like Dominaria and the Brothers War, and then kind of fell off again on like Phyrexia March of the Machine. So like the last couple of sets I just sort of dipped in and out of. The last set I played properly was probably the Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in Forgotten Realms, and then Innistrad I was sort of like kind of on the petering out phase a little bit. And what really kind of killed it for me was just the fact that we started moving from this situation where Questing Beast from Eldraine was considered a lot of text, but that was like a mythic rare. And it had a lot of text, but the lot of text was like, okay, it was a 4/4 with Death Touch and Trample, and damage can't be prevented, and it can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, or something like that. So it was like, okay, a couple of evergreen keywords, and then 2 distinct abilities, and it was a 4/4. And it's sort of like, okay, that was considered a lot of text back in Eldraine. Fast forward 2 years, and you've got now cards where it's not like some cards now have a lot of text on them. It's like every single rare and every single mythic just has a short paragraph of text on it. Like, there was one which is it's the one that's used in the replication deck, Stormcaller Mystic or something like that. That's just got like a horrific amount of text on it. But it's now, the game now is at that stage where every single rare and mythic seems to just have a paragraph of text, and as much as I love complicated games, I don't want to have to sit at a limited event and read a short story every time someone plays a card, because there is a learning curve to getting familiar with all the cards in a new set every time. And it got to the point where, like, I don't know, like, unexpected interactions were just, like, annoying me too much, and everyone kind of says, oh, well, you know, you've got to read the cards to understand them, and it's like, well, yeah, but when every card has, like, 3 different abilities on it, it's not worth it. It means the game has dipped into that past the critical threshold where it's kind of not worth the time to understand the rules anymore, because the rules are all arbitrary and they change every set. So yeah, that's my story of how I fell off the Magic the Gathering bandwagon. The game just became bad, in my opinion. But that's fine, you know, it is what it is, and by all accounts Magic is more popular now than it ever has been, and all of that stuff, and oh yeah, maybe this is going to kill Magic this time, or maybe that's going to kill Magic this time, and you know, it sticks around because people are like really, really hooked on it, but I don't know. I'm really struggling to think about where to go next. My best thought now is let's go back to Mare. Let's go back to Mare and see if that Villain cannon can shoot at anything else. But, like, we might be a touch on the stuck side. I don't think that means anything, that sound effect. I think that's just the general, ooh, look at the pretty tree kind of sound effect. Yeah, green is Mare. There's nothing, it's not like we've missed anything else in here, is there? Because we've not been in here except to be here, like today. This is our first time in here in this session, but I don't think so. You judge MTG set by your ability to break into the meta with a homebrew. Lately it just hasn't been possible, and I'll probably stop playing MTG for good now. MTG jumped the shark. Yeah, it did, yeah, which is a shame, but then again, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just a game, it's not a lifestyle. Like, people get... I would almost go as far as to say irrationally angry when something that they have played for a long time changes in some kind of fundamental way. Like, I mean, ultimately, MTG is a business, right? So they're just doing whatever they need to do to make the game as popular as possible. And in the online space, if the name of the game is, hey, I need to have things being complicated and changing all the time and so on because the metas now get solved super duper quick. What is that over there? There's like a weird thing where there's two... Do you see that? Like two things? What am I looking at there? I think I'm looking at the... That looks like the elevator. I think we've been there before. I think we're sort of looking... hard to say exactly which direction we're looking in, but are we looking at that lift there? I think we're sort of looking that way right now. Okay, so we've got a Verlaine cannon here. Is there something we can do to either take this off or to teleport it away somewhere? They don't playtest their sets enough before release. They never should have printed Meat Hook Massacre in the first place. Yeah, that wasn't a great one, to be fair. I can't even remember if that got hit with a ban in the end. I mean, they did also... Yeah, like, there were a lot of pretty unbalanced things, to be fair, fairly recently. What's the one that was like all over the meta recently? It's not Invoke Despair, it's something in the black deck. And I like playing black decks, but there comes a point where it's all a bit too much, really. I don't see any way to move or teleport this thing. It doesn't look like it's a sphere. Oh, so the Mare sphere is on Kaptar. Look at that. That's clearly Kaptar architecture up there. So the Hunrath sphere is on Mofang. Mare is on Kaptar. So Kaptar must be on Earth, then. Maybe. Okay. We're having a rough time of it this session, I tell you what. Because, like, literally, okay, we've solved one puzzle, we've blown up a WMD. Since you joined the stream, Ground Control. So, like, the one puzzle we've solved today was before you came online. The rest of the time, we've literally been stuck the whole time. Like, I'm not really sure what to say to this. Oh, shoot. The YouTube comment section this week is going to be going mad. Like, when I spend this much time stuck, the YouTube comment section, they're going to be... Oh, incidentally, I totally forgot to shout out last week. Shout out to Diane in the YouTube comment section. I did some shout outs last week on the Sunday stream, and there was one name that I could picture, but I couldn't remember. And yes, it was Diane. So shout out to you from the YouTube comment section for always providing very helpful insights into the game's background and lore and so on. So we've got a path here. Right, we can't get through there right now because the sphere is in the wrong spot. But we should be able to get up here perfectly fine. So we've opened that door previously. That path has a door which is locked. And we can't get through there. Oh. Shoot, there's no way to call the elevator. Oh, game, why you do this to me? Why you do this to me? Do we teleport back to Hunrath and go from there? I mean, we could do, couldn't we? If we teleport back to Hunrath, we can then take the... Yep. We're then going to take the sphere from the top of the junkyard, which will take us to the other side of Captar. But yeah, Obduction having 12 hours of content, I don't know. I think with a puzzle game like this, the average time to beat it's going to be a little bit all over the place, I think, because it very much depends. Some people are going to breeze through the game a lot faster than others. I mean, in terms of if you were to actually come back and play it for a second time, not that I'm 100% sure why you would necessarily do that, just simply because once you've played this game once, I'm not sure it will have a huge amount of replayability. Okay, that's going to take us back to Captar again now. Go. I think if you knew the answers to most of the puzzles, you'd breeze through the game pretty quick. So by that logic, if you were exceptionally good at puzzle games and didn't get stuck at all, I don't know how long this would take you. 6 hours? 7 hours maybe? Okay, there's no way to call back this elevator either, so we're stuck taking the long walk. We've got a sphere here, which looks great, but there's no way to teleport it. We've got a sphere which would take us to the Hunrath Vault, and that's fine, but not useful. The hidden door that we've previously looked at, you can get to that via this... no, via this way. So we go down here and round. Lots of industry has been going on here from the from our friends in Hunrath. These petals are actually scales, it turns out, from giant sea creatures, or giant air creatures perhaps, that used to be hunted. The hidden door I was referencing is behind here. So this, yeah, it is locked from this side. But it's locked from both sides. So how are you going to get there? How are you going to get there? What's that sound? It's not that. Unclear. You must be in the EU because it's 4:30 AM here. Wow, that is commitment. That is commitment to the bit. I am in fact in the UK. It is 10:36 in the morning. Yeah, this one is our Sunday morning stream. But hey, you know, Saturday night, right? If you've got no plans, if you're just going to have a vibing Sunday, there is no judgment on staying up late on Saturday night. And if you want to come and enjoy a stream, maybe after, you know, after you've been out on a Saturday night or whatever, you're always welcome. Obduction glitchless all trees category has a current world record of 47.59. All other categories are sub 10 minutes. Okay, right. But, so the glitchless category, I much prefer glitchless speedruns anyway, right? Because, wait, I'm sensing this isn't actually necessarily where I wanted to go. To be fair, I'm not really sure exactly where I was trying to go anyway. But yeah, okay, right. So if you are speedrunning this... Oh no, we sort of wanted to get to this lift over here, didn't we? That's sort of where we were aiming for. Because I wanted to see the other side of that corridor now that we've moved the Captar sphere into that spot. So what have you been up to on your Saturday night, Ground Control? Have you been out and about and you've come back, or you just been vibing, having a chilled out Saturday evening? Okay, we're going to make our way back this way. Glitchy speedruns are valid but tacky. My problem with glitchy speedruns is that they often rely... Well, because it's glitchy, you are relying on bugs in the game to, like, not bypass... I gotta kind of, like, be very clear with what I'm trying to say here. I think sequence breaking using a fun combination of abilities which many players wouldn't have considered is kind of fun and interesting, and I like watching those sorts of things. When it comes to like, oh yeah, you know, if you are using this bug, you can go out of bounds and that allows you to do something whatever, then I find that less interesting to watch, in a way. Even though those ones are, of course, a lot faster. Almost by definition. Meredith in the chat. Good morning, Master Puzzle Guru. This morning, Meredith, I am not feeling like a Master Puzzle Guru at all. This morning, we are having a real struggle. We've solved basically one puzzle right at the start of the stream, and since then, thankfully, I have had some company to be chatting. We've been chatting MTG, we've been chatting puzzle game design, we've been chatting about other games that we play, but oh no, we are fully on board the struggle bus. This is the sphere, it's not even in the correct orientation. Maybe we need to just rotate this sphere around and it will help reveal something about a path that we can take. You automated a rocket to crash where it launched from after one orbit. You spent 2 days Oppenheimering on Kerbal Space Program. Played for years without doing any military applications on principle, but this week the mood struck. Fair. Kerbal Space Program. I don't know if I own a copy of that, actually. Like, it feels like something I might have tried but didn't get into, or maybe I just watched some videos of it and decided that it wouldn't be a game that I would get into. I don't know. Do you ever have that one where you're sort of really curious about a game, so you watch some Let's Plays and you think, that's probably not going to be for me, but then later on in your mind you kind of muddle together whether you'd played it or whether you just remember watching someone else play it and you can't quite remember. Have you ever done that? Sometimes as well, like, a game will be literally so forgettable for me that, like, I'll think back to it and I'll be like, oh yeah, shoot, I played that game. Yeah, no, I actually own a copy of that and it says that I completed it. But, like, you just don't remember at all. Sometimes that happens to me. Okay. Oh, I should have taken the lift. I should have taken the lift. At the moment, I'm operating on a bit of a hunch, right? So people on YouTube are going to be sort of maybe a little bit curious as to what I'm trying to do right now. I'm operating on a bit of a hunch that maybe having the captar side of the giant rotating sphere might help in some way unlock the door that's currently locked. Like, it's a real long shot because we don't really have any evidence that you... We don't really have any evidence that that sort of thing applies in the captar world at all. Like, I'm kind of relying on, hey, you know, maybe there are like secret power conduits that run through the floor or something like that. We've got no evidence that that would actually be the solution to the puzzle. I'm very much working on a hunch because I don't really have any other ideas going at the moment. So in that vein, we're not taking that sphere back with us. What we need to do... Oh wait, hang on, yeah, so we're going to need to swap the spheres back. Oh, yeah, we're going to need to swap the spheres back so that you can... Oh, incidentally, Meredith, whilst you're here, do remember to join us on the Discord. Because the Discord is going to be a great fun place where we are going to be chatting between streams, of course, but I also want to kind of get feedback from you guys about how to make these streams better, what you kind of want to prioritize between, like, improving the starting screen, improving the animations, or, you know, changing the overlay. Maybe you're a bit tired of my giant webcam obscuring part of the gameplay screen. So love to hear stream suggestions, and I'd love to hear game recommendations as well, you know. So we do need to swap the big spheres around to be able to rotate it, but before we do that, can we approach the giant sphere from the other side and work out how far it needs to be rotated? There's an idea. Okay, so we're going to head towards... not there. We need a way... no, that's Mare. We want to go to Captar. So we need a way... to work out how far round the giant sphere needs rotating. And then we're going to teleport it back, rotate it a couple of times. And that should be a good one there. I mean, there is also clearly a puzzle to be solved over here, because we are too heavy. And do you know what? The fact that we've got a big old chunk of Mofang right here tells me that this is clearly a Mofang teleporter that we should be trying to fix somehow. But there's no way to pick up the little orb. If this were Quern, where my mind would be is, oh right, we smashed up the teleporter using the Villain device back on Mare. Let's take the orb from that smashed up device, jam it in there, and hopefully we've then fixed it. But that's not where we are. That's an imprint of an Arai insect. So an Arai insect has clearly been sat on this device. Just something to have a think about, I suppose, but Pengy SWE, been lurking a bit, just want to say that I like listening to your thoughts about the game and puzzles. Thank you very much. And welcome to the chat. You're of course welcome to lurk in the chat, that's absolutely fine. There is no expectation from me that everyone's going to want to engage in conversation. And yeah, if you just want to quietly watch, that's absolutely fine with me, right? Most of the time I'm just talking to myself anyway, because most of the time I'm recording for YouTube. Oh man! None of these paths are currently open, so we can't actually see how far round we need to rotate it. Well, that's incredibly inconvenient, actually. Blah. What's this thing as well? Is that like a polyarch in a little pod? That's cool. But we've got to think beyond the kind of, you know, adventure game idea of I'm going to go and collect an item and bring the item back here, because you can't pick up items in this game. The puzzle is going to be something a bit more subtle than that. Like, I really don't think 10 hours into the game they're suddenly going to introduce a mechanic where suddenly you can pick up items and bring them to places, because none of the puzzles have relied on that up to this point. So we need to go to Hunrath and we need to rotate the giant sphere around a couple of times and see if that leads us to being able to get in there. And the problem is, because we can't see it, we do not really know how far around we need to rotate it, and this is all entirely based on a hunch anyway, which I don't even know is even going along the correct lines of what we're supposed to be trying to do. So, blah. If you cannot transport objects but you must lose weight, there's exercise or avulsion. Now that is a word that I have not come across before. Games tend to go into the avulsion route. I don't know, yeah, I don't know. Well, so the giant sphere is pointing this way currently. Yeah, it's a Bit of a strange one. And I tell you what, team, right? We're also out of time because it's 10 to 11 already. I was hoping we'd be able to make an iota of progress here before we wrapped up the stream. But I tell you what, we're not going to have time today, unfortunately. We are out of time for this week's stream. But I tell you what, next week we're going to be, well, starting off from right here and seeing what we can accomplish. I'm hoping it's something to do with this big sphere relating to having this door unlock itself right here. I'm hoping it's something to do with that. Or maybe there's a hidden sphere here. Or maybe there's some kind of hidden path here. Like maybe there's a hidden path, right? Which we've literally just missed around the tree. And there's a hidden path which actually goes between these planks. Haven't thought about that yet. That's literally just an idea that came to my head as I was talking. You know, I think Arai is done. I don't think there are any more paths on Arai to look at. There are plenty of more paths on Hunrath to look at because we've literally not been there and I have no idea how to get there or how to get there. But we're a little bit stuck right now. We've got some ideas, but not sure how to execute them. So many questions. For now, though, thank you very much for coming along. For those of you in the YouTube crowd, leave a comment and hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. For those of you on YouTube, have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. For those of us on Twitch, let's have a quick look to see who is online right now, and we will go and give a raid. And it's usually, to be fair, Cozy, but actually it